Another example of your environment getting manipulated by the matrix is sort of like when you drive out into an intersection and the people who's riding down the street are not visible to your vision. So you think the coast is clear. Then you go out there and all of a sudden here come a car almost about to hit you. Another example, you walking down the sidewalk, the coast is clear, it looks quiet. Boom. All of a sudden, somebody had a dog let loose. That's like one of the most classic Matrix environment manipulations ever. Like a stray ass dog that just happens to be loose. That's like one of their favorite ones right there. Because as a human, you ain't trying to have no interactions with that dog. Because you know for a fact it's gonna be the type that'll attack you. Even if you ain't scared of animals, you just know like this type of animal was planted here. Then you got another one that I ain't really get to finish talking about. Like you go up to a red light and it never changes. It takes forever. And you got somewhere to be like at your job. Or you go to up to some train tracks and here come a long ass train. Or you go into a store because you gotta hurry up and buy something. It's empty, ain't nobody in there. And then as soon as you go up to the register area, boom, all these people just came out of nowhere into the store. If you pay attention to this shit with intricate detail, you'll question yourself and think you crazy. Like, I know these people didn't just materialize and get planted into my motherfucking environment right there in my face, like on some Star Trek shit. Yes, they did. And then what's that does? That causes you to be late at your job, and then whatever manager or boss in them gotta bring you to the office and have a talk with you, maybe even give you a point. See what I'm saying? They created that shit though. You could have avoided it, that particular situation, by not even going in the store and then getting whatever you needed for lunch or whatever, and starving yourself. But all the Matrix would have did was recalculated your steps and seeing that you decided not to fall for that snare and probably create another one. Relationships. That's why they so dark right now. When you try to be cool with people, they always doing some stuff to get under your skin or not cooperate with you or act normal. A lot of the times, the reason why this is happening is because of what we talking about. Is to annoy you, annoying you in some type of form or fashion, get you to vibrate off a stressful energy called loose. And yeah, they got machines that transport the energy into the machines. I'm pretty sure some of the higher level reptilians that still got the wings and look like draconians, they can just suck that shit up through the air through their skin. The movie Monsters Inc. was showing us this when they was having those monsters come through, materialize into the environment, and then come through the closet and scare the little kids. And then the little kids would get scared and scream, "Ah!" Then they'd catch the scream. That scream was loose. They bottled it up. They went back to their room, and then they got paid top dollar for the shit. But just like in real time, when none of this shit gets to you, Then these reptilian motherfuckers that got this motherfucking eye on you, that eye that's at the top of the dollar bill, behind that on that pyramid, behind the dollar, on the dollar bill, the all-seeing eye. They got the matrix looking at you like that, or paying you attention, or following your energy signature everywhere you go, or having these algorithms connected to you so they can always monitor, because you seem to avoid all of these things, just like in that cartoon movie when that little yellow monster teamed up with that little kid because that little kid wasn't scared. That messed up the whole business, because off world, into a whole nother realm and dimension that we can't even conceive at this moment, being a human, this shit is a business to these motherfuckers. And I want to tell y'all something, man. Don't think the Bible is just straight trash. It's like a code book. All right. Inside of your spirit, if you're a human, or your soul, certain stuff you read out the Bible, you will automatically decode it, just like what they was trying to say about the book of Eli. If you ever seen that movie, yeah, if you just read it plainly and look at it literally, a lot of it is straight contradictory, and then some of it is truth. It's like a scrambled up code book. It got some truth in it, so you don't want to throw the whole thing out and be like, nah, this stuff was designed to manipulate man. Only a fool would think some stuff like that. Because anybody who ever played any video games, you know that a video game inside of the environment, that's a matrix. We now know that. Whenever you had the codes, the code book, at first you may not understood what you was looking at. A, B, B, C, C, X, 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 O, O, triangle, triangle. Like, what the fuck is this shit? But once you got past yourself and then you looked at the code and then you applied the code inside of the video game, you seen that it was some validity to it. That's the same way you got to be with some of these scriptures in the Bible, because they are called scriptures, right? And it's a script, right? We in the Truman Show when we live our life, even though this is like a video game world. So different scripts help you to understand different scenarios and navigate a certain kind of way. I know it's easier to say this shit than it is to do it, but it's still true at the end of the day. Yeah, we know. Loose, loose, loose. That's what this shit about. And it is a business off world. Um, Another example is like when you gamble and shit, you get off into that type of stuff. Sometimes you might win, sometimes you might lose, but it has nothing to do with the odds. Once you learn it has nothing to do with the odds, you'll limit playing around with that stuff. Now, some people come at it from this angle. It's the devil's devices. You don't want to touch the devil's devices, and gambling's one of them. You'll get a gambling spirit on you. But everything out here is the devil's devices, including this phone that I'm talking on to transmute this motherfucking message to you. You have no choice but to dibble and dabble in the devil's devices. Everything out here is the devil's devices, period. This whole conceptual idea of this life that we live in is the devil's device. So what I'm saying is just learn how to maneuver while you dealing with them. That's all. And realize at the end of the day, this shit is a loose trap. Uh, I had visions and I had outer body experience like astral planet. So I seen that this shit is going on other planets too that got humans on it as well. This shit ain't just happening here. And I know you religious people probably think, oh shit, he talking some demonic shit. Nah, I know that shit's for real and I believe it because I seen it with my own eyes and I experienced it before I came back in my body. So a lot of these things that I be talking about ain't just some shit that I'm just coming up with off the top of my head. And do get downloaded to me and stuff like that. Meaning like the Most High shows this to me or whatever. Now, if you look at it from another angle, the Most High probably got us down here because we are either being punished for something, possibly, or we are one of the Most High's top warriors or soldiers or whatever, and we going through some kind of training down here. So then when we return into our spirit or whatever, then we be ready for combat or whatever. Or we just simply got kidnapped here because we was floating around